Hello, everybody. This is Elisa, and welcome to another session of Fem Power Conversation with Powerful Women. Let's get real, uncut, and unfiltered conversation. Experience life the way it is. Alrighty, so I'm Elisa, and I have Tina with me, my favorite friend from
Hi.
another mother. I mean, we just had another beautiful conversation prior to this. So, what were we talking about, Tina? Well, why don't you tell us about you first, Tina?
Absolutely. Hi, ladies. Hi, everybody. And Elise, thank you so much for really opening up this conversation because I think it's super important to empowering women, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about, and we're about to get to that. But first, my name is Tina Marcella, and I help women feel powerful and confident in front of every kind of audience, whether it's video or live. So it's about feeling great. And I believe that it really starts about feeling great within yourself and
Mm-hmm.
finding the power within you so that you can project your message and your energy to people in a way that they can connect with you. And yeah, and I can go on and on and on, but that's really the basis of what I do, Elise. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So, as you were saying this, I had this thought. Do you think it's important how you introduce yourself? Because as we were talking about earlier on, like a lot of coaches would say, I'm certified, I'm the founder. Do you think how you introduce yourself, it is important, Tina?
Incredibly important. What I've learned for sure is that if you're in the coaching industry or if you're in an industry where you are in a service based type of job that you do, it's really important that people get to know what you do immediately. At least in this industry, and I mean not in this industry, but in this age of technology and Facebook, you and I just had a conversation about like holy I don't know. I'm not gonna curse. Sorry. Like holy moly! Oh gosh. Yeah, that was really dumb. That's not who I am. I'm just gonna go for it. Sorry, Elise.
Yeah, just
Holy,
go for
so many people that are trying, like that are bombarding us. And honestly, we have this opportunity to help so many women out there, and men. It depends on who you work with, but nobody wants to listen anymore because it's overload, it's
Mm,
information overload. So to answer your question, yeah, it's very important how you introduce yourself. So if I said to you, "Hi, my name is Tina Marcella, and I'm from New York, and I worked with and I went to school with and I am certified under," people would be checked out, they're out the door. They could care less who I'm certified. They want to know what I do for them. So if you notice that when I introduce myself, I told you right away what I do. So everybody right now knows exactly what I do, right? I
mm,
mean, right away I gave them a picture of here's what I could do for you, here's how I'm going to help you. And for me, yeah, I'm in the business of helping women get empowered. So I want to get that message across to have as many ears listen and hear what I have to say because I know how their life is going to change. But if I start going into me, my certification,
mm,
they could care less.
that's true. That's true. That's true. So, I also want to talk about the marketing message as you talked about early on. It's so harder now. It's harder now to get noticed because everybody's saying the same thing. But you, on the other hand, are getting 2,000, 5,000 views on your videos. How did you do that?
Elise, I think that, as we discussed earlier, it's really about following your passion and
Mm,
your heart. Um, I spoke with a woman recently and, she was really confused about where her market was. And if I was to try and put this in a nutshell, it's really about getting to the core of who you are and staying there and refining a message from there.
mm,
So yes, having you be confident in front of all right, so my background has always been performing, right? So my stage is my home and that's where I teach from. However, there's more to it. It wasn't just about, all right, I'm gonna stick you on stage, give you a great speech, and you're gonna connect. No, it was more to it. I realized that under this umbrella, that it was about empowering women's confidence. Because
mm,
with me, I'll tell you a really, really quick story that what happened was, and where my shift occurred was when I was on stage performing other people's stuff, whether it's other people's music or whether it was on theater, I was doing other people's lines. I was reciting
mm,
characters. So I was kind of if you could believe this, I was kind of hiding behind my
Mm.
characters. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it wasn't me. But when I had to share my message, hey, everybody, my name is Tina, and I'm here to share my message, I was like, oh my God, my word, me, this is representing me, not a playwright, not another. I have to share my words. And I think that's when I realized, like, oh shit, even the best fall down, even somebody whose stage is the home. Like, so getting back to what we were saying is that it's really important to get to the core of what's causing um, the issues you can help with. So I don't know if that makes sense. So for me, I'm a performer, yes, but there's more to it. For me, it was about confidence and feeling judged. So I was like, if I can help women feel more confident, then here's my umbrella, but then here's the stuff that kind of is the bones
Mm.
of how they're going to get here. So go to your core. What is it that you teach? But what is it that women really need? Yes, they want to feel good. And I'm only using myself as an example, but we could use a health professional as an example. Yeah, she's going to help you lose weight, but beyond that, how? There's other things. Like if you go to your core and just stay true to what you know, if you lost 150 pounds, teach that.
Mm.
Was it a struggle? Why was it a struggle? Because you're not the only one struggling.
Mm.
You could teach others how to do that. Does that make sense?
Mm. But you actually also talked about something really difficult topics like body shaming, fat shaming, and how to deal with negative comments through the videos. Was that really hard to talk about? Like something so like raw?
Um, Once upon a time, yes, once upon a time, you would never have seen me speak about somebody calling me fat right out loud. At least what I had to do, and one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this is because my whole life I've been body shamed,
Mm.
and I chose to believe people who were hurting. So rather than just feel mean,
Did you
feel my
body
beauty,
shame yourself or other people body shamed you or both?
both,
Mm.
both. Well, what was happening is I grew up being shamed, therefore I believed other people's beliefs
Mm.
rather than just feeling beautiful within my own skin.
Actually, but
And
actually, the irony is people think only I put on a lot of weight as well, and that kind of like did something to my confidence as well. And I body shame myself a lot. And my own children are like, "Oh my God, mommy, you're fat." Now I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." But you know what? If shit hits the fan, I have 6 months of fat to last me through the tough times. And good
yeah,
luck to you.
right. Who's shaming now, baby?
Yeah, exactly right. I will have 6 months of fat to last me through it. So yeah, but
Exactly. I think what it comes down to, Elise, and I think if I'm just going to be raw and real, I am
please.
so sick and tired of hearing what perfection looks like.
Mm.
Says who? Like, I don't think that I'm any different than you, or you, or him, or her. Like, we have this vision of what perfection looks like.
Yeah.
And if you aren't that, somehow you're less worthy than those people. So a Victoria's Secret's model
Mm.
gets on stage. She's the picture of perfection. And God, they're gorgeous. So I could understand why people see this. All right, fine, they're beautiful. But why does that make me less beautiful?
Yeah.
Why does somebody's home, just because it's bigger, make mine less than beautiful? It's not true. If we were all built the same, what would we have to talk about, for God's sakes?
Mm.
And I feel, for me, my fat was my survival, right? So I found that my beauty put me in danger in a lot of ways. So for example, um I have a past of abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got heavier, I felt safer there. And what that did was that extinguished my feminine power. And that extinguished my beauty, and that extinguished everything that I stood for. And I feel that yes, my story was abuse, but for other people, it could be different things, just in different guises. Somebody could have just watched their mother struggle with an eating disorder, or somebody could just be heavy because that's the way their bodies are built. I happen to be one of them.
Mm.
And I started to realize that I can get somewhere in life. I can do great things. I am amazing. I have so much to offer. And then, at least what I realized is so many people didn't even see me as fat as I saw myself.
Mm.
And what I started to realize beyond that was it was so easy for me to put myself down, but so hard to compliment myself.
Mm.
That saying the negative, I'm so stupid, I'm so fat, I look so ugly, I'm so this, I'm so that, was so easy.
Yeah.
Or saying I'm amazing, I'm awesome, I'm a rock star was so difficult.
So
And
do you think
yeah,
like, so I don't think it's just you, but I think me and a lot of other women tend to do this so easily to ourselves, like I'm stupid, I'm fat. Do you think this is conditioning from someone else, or is this really our voice?
oh, it's definitely conditioning from somebody else. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I had a client today, and the one thing we spoke about was power. And she said to me, "What is power?" And I said, "Power is the absence of ego." Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So our voice is the power. It's other people's voices. The fear of judgment, that's our egos. That's their egos pressed upon us.
Mm.
So our power really lies within us, and it's actually the absence of anything, absence of ego. It's the presence of love. It's the presence of unconditional love. Because I said, if you have a child in your hands, would you look at them and say, "Yeah, you're going to be nothing. And if you're fat, you're going to be worthless."
No.
Would you say that to a child? No, the first thing you would say to your child is, "You could be, do, and have everything you want." And at least then I said, well, then why can't we?
Mm.
Why can't we just be beautiful? And I know that we're going to discuss like when somebody called me out in public, and how I was able to deal with that. It was simply because I finally got to a point where my ego, when it came to my body image, finally was at peace.
Mm.
And when we can get to a place of peace, which I can give some tips, of course, of how I got there, but like getting to a place of peace within our hearts and
Mm-hmm.
within ourselves, and to push that ego aside and really feel the power that we have within us, it's unstoppable. It's a frequency that will knock down everybody and anybody who tries to get in our way or put us down.
Mm.
So that
But
guy
most
didn't stand a
women would
chance.
feel like if I do that, then I'm being selfish. I am like being like, obnoxious, like,
Mm.
so women have just so many thoughts, like, to
Right.
not allow themselves to shine. So if I allow myself to shine, then am I being obnoxious? Am I being selfish? And am I taking someone else's light away? And all that kind of, again, it's ego, but it seems
Well,
so
Grace,
real.
everybody has the opportunity to shine their own light. You're not taking
Hmm.
anybody's nothing from anybody.
Hmm.
If you're shining your own, you're doing what you need to do in order
Hmm.
to shine.
Hmm.
And that's the thing. We have this fear that if we play big, that we're somehow pushing other people
Hmm.
down. Who says they can't get up here with us?
That's true.
There's plenty of room up here for us all. So shine away. And that is, can you tell? Some like that's one thing when we hit a nerve, and because that was my big thing in life. Like, let me keep, sorry, hair in my mouth. Um, let me put myself down. Let me put myself to make others feel better. What I have also come to understand is that we're not responsible for other people's feelings, Elise.
Hmm.
And you know that, and I know that,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Who's going to be responsible for my feelings?
Hmm.
You?
No.
Exactly. Exactly. Who's responsible
Mm.
for yours? I'm not responsible for yours.
Yep.
You got it, girl. You can handle it, right?
Hmm.
And everybody listening right now, you can handle it. I can handle my own shit. So I'm not going to be responsible for somebody if I'm shining.
Hmm.
You know what? You want to shine, shine.
Mm.
And if they think that, if people think that, then they're not part of your group. They're not part of your tribe. They may feel that way initially, but when someone feels poorly, it's because they secretly want what you have.
Mm.
The truth is that when we judge others, it's because we secretly either want what they have, or we secretly like wish we could be like them, or they have like some kind of charisma that
Right.
we're longing for. And so I posted on Facebook, I just wrote, I am awesome. And some people responded, yes, you are. And some said, oh, and modest too. And oh, look who's like, just the things that were coming out of people's mouths blew me away, because I said, and in my conversation, I said what I said earlier. It's so hard for people to accept saying wonderful things about themselves because you're automatically looked at as conceited.
Mm.
But the people who love me and know me for being awesome. So they're like, hell yeah, you are. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I am. Sick and tired of saying I'm ugly and stupid, because I'm not, and neither is anybody listening here. We're all created the way we're supposed to be created. Gorgeous and awesome and beautiful and important. And shall I go on?
Yeah, but that's an important point you put. You said like women, especially in the women empowerment coaching industry or whatever. Like you want to help somebody, you can't bitch about that person, or you can't bitch about women and want to help women at the same time. There's something where we need to balance within ourselves. That's something that I had to realize as well. Like, why am I being jealous of her? And like, I had this bitchy, catty feeling towards this woman, but here I am wanting to help women succeed. So it's not aligned. So for us as women, it is very important that we actually stick together. So if you are jealous of someone, don't direct it directly at that person. Go inwards and ask yourself, and give yourself that permission to have that thing.
Yes, because we're still human.
Yeah.
Trust me, I still do that. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did that person get on TV? Or how did that? I'm like, But then I look and I'm like, okay, well, what can I do to get to that next step? What did they do to get there? What are they, So you're absolutely right, and I think we're at an uprising where, I don't know. I have a little secret for you all here, but I don't know if everybody realizes, but women are fucking powerful. We are powerful. And I think what scares a lot of us is, I think Marianne Williamson said it. No, she did say it. Marianne Williamson said, I don't want to mess this up. I really should look this up, but it says, it's not our lack of power that scares us. It's what we fear most is how powerful we actually are. I totally messed it up, but you get the point.
Yeah. It's not the light. Yes. It's not the darkness that we fear, but the light that or something like this. It's not the dark that we fear, but the light that is within us that we are actually afraid of. Something like this.
Yeah. That because we are. And now what the hell are you going to do with that power? When you have this power, you want to use it, and other people need you to use it. But now that means you have to rise above, and you have to be really clear, which what we talked about earlier, about getting to your core. Everybody is different. And that's another message, is that we're all different. And we're all here for a reason. We don't all have to do the same thing, especially in our industry. So what is it for you? That power is going to guide you. That power is going to pull you. And it's when we take ego out of it and really center ourselves and fall in love with the vessel that's going to take us there. Right?
So you talked about rising above. It sounds really easy, but then, you're on Facebook every day and then people are like sending you messages. How do you deal with nasty messages? Like, do you feel hurt? People, it's like, because we are online so much and we feel a disconnect from the other person, and then we just irresponsibly sometimes just say something, we just type it, like we are like, what's that, keyboard warriors, disregarding how that person actually feels, but it actually is hurtful. Did you feel hurt?
No. And that's what shocked me. So the story goes that I put a beautiful photo of me from a photographer. I put a beautiful photo up, and a guy says, oh, what a shame you're in the public eye. You're very pretty, but you're fat. What a shame you're so fat. Something like that. I can't even remember what this guy said now. And I looked at that comment and I was like, for a moment, I couldn't believe that somebody was actually saying this.
Did you know that guy?
No, because it was like a public post. Right. It was like a friend of a friend somehow saw it. And I stopped for a moment and reflected and said, okay, why is this not bothering me? Why is this person who just called me fat in front of 1,300, 1,500, whatever it was, people, why is this not freaking me out? Why am I not freaking? And I realized it's because I've gotten to a point of such centeredness that, yes, I do know that for health reasons, I may at that time have wanted to lose a couple pounds, but it wasn't about, it's not even about that. It was like, you don't get to do that.
Mm.
You don't get to say these things to me. And here's the bottom line, guys.
But that was a very insensitive comment, don't you think?
I believe so, but here's the thing. But if I label it as that, it's going to go into my heart as that. So I chose not to label it as angry, as nasty. I chose not to label his
Mm.
comment. What I chose to do instead is say, you know what? This man is hurting. This man clearly hasn't done work. This man truly wants to bring down other people, someone he doesn't even know.
Mm.
I must have reminded him of some kind of like girl he knew in high school or something because I was attacked for nothing. And it happens. And what I do is I just literally block these people, but I've unfriended people as a result. But I also got to a point where I was like, I don't believe you. So I could believe people, or I could choose not to believe him. And I think that for
Well,
me,
hang on just a minute. I think you brought up a good point. I think women or anyone or men who are watching this have to understand this. Hurt people hurt people. So you brought up a point. Because he's hurt, so therefore he's dishing out hurtful comments. So don't
correct,
take it don't take it personally.
correct, because I don't even know this guy. So I
Yeah.
said, I can't take it personally because I don't know what is going on in his life. And if that's, and I'm thinking honestly, I was like, is that the best you got, dude? Like, is that all you got? Like, you're fat? Like, ooh, like, so I'm going to tell you this. One day it would have shut me down. Once upon a time, it would have shut me down. But you know what?
So
When
if
you do
somebody
work on
calls you
yourself,
fat right in your face, do you feel hurt now? Or you're like, oh, okay, yes, I'm fat?
um,
Well, to be
no,
honest, women have, even they are fat or thin, they have body issues. Women who are thin, right? So don't think that only fat people or bigger sized women have got issues. Women
correct.
who
That's
are thin have.
absolutely correct.
Mm.
You are 100% right because I'm telling you, one of the videos I did was on this topic, and the video came as a result of this gentleman's comment to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said what he said, but yeah, I had somebody say it right in front of my face. So I was on stage doing a show, with my band, and the woman said, oh, she's cute, but she's fat. And my brother overheard it.
Mm.
And the guy came to me and says, listen, I just want you to know this. My girl said this, and I'm sorry. I know your brother was standing there. That's why he had to tell me. And for a moment, I'm like, shit. And yeah, I'm like, I thought I looked damn good that night, but then I thought about who it was coming from. And it always goes back to who it's coming from. Like,
Mm.
she herself wasn't, in the best shape, or what is going on in her life that she felt the need. Because I got to tell you, when I'm in a good place, I don't look for things wrong with people. I look for the
That's
light in
true.
people, right?
That's true. Yes.
So when someone's saying something hurtful or putting somebody down, it's simply because they're looking for the hurt. They're not looking for the light.
So this something just spurred in me. Like, people are so into themselves, they're so obsessed with themselves. When they receive a hurtful comment, oh my god, it's all about me. So they take it personally. But if you actually have more confidence in yourself and know that you are the way you are, you know why you put on weight, you know why you lost weight, then you actually deflect those negative comments and know that that person is hurting.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And I think that the when you get to a point where you start to love the vessel that's going
Mm.
to create your life, I think you almost get into a frequency where you push this stuff away for the most part. I don't get the comments that often, but we have to realize, at least, being in on the internet, being in the public eye, putting out videos, I know I'm going to get something.
Mm.
I'm almost prepared for it. And I think that what you said earlier was really important to just bring up, and that when I did the video, it was simply on body shaming. But what the comments I did get, and the messages especially, was, thank you so much for this. I'm 105 pounds. I'm 5'4", 105, and I still look in the mirror and I don't see a beautiful girl. And what you've shared today helped me, and I realized that you're right. It is not just about being overweight. It's almost every one of us, because we've been so conditioned to say negative things about ourselves with such ease,
Mm.
because it's accepted. And I also feel like negativity almost brings a sympathy to us. I'm stupid. No, you're not. I'm a horrible person. Of course you're not. And guess what happens when people are like, no, 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 no. You start to feel like, see, someone thinks I'm not. It's almost like you're testing out the waters. And people give you sympathy when you're sad and you're blue. But think about if I'm walking in a room going, I'm awesome. People are going to be like, well, she's got this shit handled. I ain't got to give her shit. Like.
So people want the attention
Mhm.
based on what you're saying, because you're like, oh, I'm awesome. Nobody's going to give you that attention. For like, oh, I'm stupid. I'm dumb. Oh my God, you're not. So you basically are soliciting sympathy and attention.
Correct. Correct. And think about that. Think about the next time. But even so, you can do it to yourself too. You can have your ego and your heart bouncing back and forth. And I'll explain. I remember just sitting by myself, and I was just having a day and everything was going wrong. And this was a few years ago. And I'm like, oh God, God, I'm so stupid. Or God, I'm such a klutz. And I'm saying this to myself. And then I almost felt sorry for myself. So I was literally, that was a way for me to not only do what I was saying, get attention, but I was almost connecting with myself. If you know, Tony Robbins talks about the 6 human needs. The need for connection, the need for, like, so you got your certainty, your uncertainty, but that one thing is your love and connection and significance.
Mm.
Suddenly you realize how those human needs are brought into play when you're being that way to yourself. You're connecting with yourself. Like a little kid trying to get attention by pouring milk on his sister's head.
Right.
Attention is attention.
Right.
Negative attention is negative attention. We learn it at a very young age.
What they say, bad PR is still good. It's still PR, right? Bad at, like what Kim Kardashian did, right? The sex tape. It's still PR, right? It is like,
Yeah, what they say, no publicity is bad publicity, or any publicity is negative, whatever. Yeah,
whatever
it's
it
still
is,
good.
it's still publicity, right? Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
something like this, the same thing.
Exactly.
Cool. So thank you so much, Tina, for your time. I know it's late for you. Is there any last words that you want to tell the women to, like, you've got this? Like, what is this? What is it? This one tip. Like, forget what we say, but this one tip, like, to do it for yourself, like right now.
Do it for you. Oh, okay. Yes, very simple. I want you to practice saying every single day, I am awesome.
I am awesome.
And I love that, Elise. And I believe you. 'Cause I know. But you believe it too. So that's the most important. But also, guys, I want you to start being aware of your disempowering talk. When you say, because the universe has ears, we always say that, right?
Mhm.
So if we're going to be saying, I'm stupid, or I'm a klutz, or God, I never could get anything right, or I'm always late, the universe has ears and the universe hears you. So make sure you're aware of your disempowering beliefs, but also, and talk, but also start to pay attention to other people's. And watch how easy it is for us to be so disempowering around each other. Be careful what you get your attention for, and continue to love and nurture your vessel. That's going to create one of the greatest things in your life, one of the greatest paths. So you can't get there without loving the vessel that you're in. You're stuck with it. So
The
love it.
vessel means your body.
your body,
Yeah.
your vessel, your because like think about it. If I can't create my dream if I don't love the carrier.
And you said
And
something like when you loved yourself, you actually lost weight, right?
that is correct. I lost 50 pounds when I started to love myself.
Oh shit.
So from that picture, I'm 50 pounds lighter. Yeah. And it was all simply because I decided, and I think that
And it's
the
free. No exercising. Okay, maybe exercising, but that is definitely free. Loving yourself is free, right?
yeah, exactly. Exercising, yeah. I don't know, that costs something, but I will tell you, loving yourself is free. But you know what? So is taking a walk, and so is journaling, and all this stuff. And I think that what I shed was toxic years of toxic thoughts and poisoning myself with things that are not necessary. Guys, here's the bottom line is that we are here to love one another, be kind to one
Mm,
another, and be kind to yourself.
mm,
Say the things that you want to hear because eventually, even if you don't believe it right this second, you will. You'll start to believe it. I say I'm awesome every single day. And I don't give a shit who thinks I'm full of it. Good. Think I'm full of it. Either you're going to jump on the wagon with me or goodbye. I'm out.
mm,
Like, come along with me. Tell yourself you're awesome because you are. So
mm,
why don't we?
mm.
And stop saying you're not. Tell
Yes.
yourself the truth. That's my final thought.
Tell
Tell
yourself
yourself
the truth.
what is the truth.
So so even if somebody who's like, I don't feel like I'm awesome, but here it is what it is. If you don't feel like you're awesome, don't say you're awesome. Just say I'm on the way to being awesome, and tomorrow I will be awesome. Something like this, right? That's the truth. Would you say?
I feel if you wanted to do a little exercise, I always say what is so if you find yourself saying I'm so stupid, you get my journal that I always have with me, right? I know you have one too, right? And you write I am stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then you write underneath it, the truth is I am one of the smartest people I know. I help women beyond measure. And you tell somebody, tell the truth, guys, because the truth is you're not stupid. The truth is you are amazing. The truth is you are awesome. So even if you don't believe I am awesome right now, if you stand grounded, there's so much to this, Lisa, and I know that it's like, I don't want to bang so much off you guys, but like, stand up, ground yourself, put your shoulders back, say it. There's a frequency to those words.
Mm,
So you almost can't not believe it if you say it. You
mm.
get like I make my clients say it, and every time they first say it, they go, "I am awesome," and they get like all like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that." I'm like, "Who are you trying to convince? Tell me, come on!" And they're like, "I'm awesome!" And by the end, they're screaming it, and almost like they're having the best time because it feels so good to talk good about ourselves.
Mm.
So tell the truth because you are awesome. No one's better than anyone else. Sorry.
Yep.
I don't know who told you that, but it ain't true. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
we label it as better.
Mm.
But really, there truly is no label. So that makes nobody better than you and you know better than anybody else. So if other people are awesome, that means you are too.
Exactly. Awesome. So where can people find you, Tina?
I am at tinamarcella.com, TinaMarcella.com, or um, on Facebook, Tina Marcella Coaching. Twitter, Tina K. Marcella. You got it all?
We can
And the
find you.
rest you'll find me. Just click around and you'll find me everywhere. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this conversation. I hope you have learned a lot by us, coming forward and say body shaming. There's, at the end of the day, look at a woman's body. She has a story, so don't judge her. We all have a story, so love one another, be kind to one another. Our body carries all our past experiences, so your body carried a lot of your past experiences as well. So honor it, be good to it, and as Tina said, be good to your vessel because you've got one and only one. All right, so thank you for
I
watching.
love
See you
that.
soon. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.